Hey everybody, this is a buyer brokerage agreement. It used to be optional, but now in 2024, it is mandatory. So stick around, you need to know the scoop. I'm Natalie Bratton with RE/MAX First. There are some new rules in the real estate biz that every home buyer needs to know. Hey everybody, I'm Natalie Bratton. I'm your Oklahoma ambassador, and on this YouTube channel, I am here to talk places to go, restaurants to eat at, things to do with your family, fun activities, and also show you real estate. But I'm not just here for fun, I'm also here to teach and train you so that when you and I work together to help you buy or sell your next home in Oklahoma, that you are prepared and ready to go and ready to make all the decisions you need to make. So today we need to talk about the buyer brokerage agreement. What is it? When does it have to be signed? How long does it last? How does my broker get paid? Those are the big four questions. Buyer brokerage agreement. This thing has existed for 30 years or more. I've used it my entire career, but I know that there are a lot of brokers out there who don't use it. It's not a requirement, at least it hasn't been until now. In August of 2024, the Department of Justice has ruled that this form is mandatory. So it changes how you go about your next home purchase. First, before you go home shopping, you need to choose your team. You need to choose your realtor. So instead of studying homes, you need to look into who you want to represent you in your home purchase, because you cannot look at homes without signing a buyer brokerage agreement. That's right, cannot. Realtors cannot show you homes without you signing an agreement. I know that some of you have an aversion to this kind of stuff, but it is a required document. And I'm not talking about the state of Oklahoma. I'm not talking about RE/MAX. I am talking about the United States of America. This is a rule in real estate now. So open houses are still available to the general public with no signed agreements from anyone. But if you go to call someone off of your favorite real estate website and say, will you show me this house today? They're going to say, yes, I need you to sign this agreement first before we go in. So what exactly does this form say? What is a brokerage agreement? Well, a brokerage agreement is my way of committing to you. It's a way of saying, not only am I going to show you houses when you call me, but I am committed to helping you find your home. So even when we're not together, I'm going to be looking for possible homes for you. I'm going to be networking with other realtors looking for homes for you. I am going to be looking through my database. I'm going to be talking to people, and like, you are always on my mind. And then when you are buying the home, I'm going to take you through the whole process. I'm going to be there for you from start to finish and even afterwards. What it also says is that you in turn are committed to me, that when we're not together, you are not out looking at houses with another realtor, and you choose me to represent you. Besides saying I commit to you and you commit to me, what are the big details? Well, the first one that you need to know about is the duration of the agreement. It can be as long as you want it to be, and trial periods are okay for 1 or 2 weeks, but then eventually, we should sign one that's for a few months. The next part is compensation. And here's where people are freaking out, especially the people who have never had these signed before. But I want to go over with you what it says so you're not surprised. It says, the broker shall be compensated by the acceptance of the amount of compensation offered by a listing broker or the seller. So 90% of the time, that's how it works. The seller is offering a certain amount to be paid at closing for compensation, and the listing broker and the buyer's broker usually split the pot. And so the seller pays all the brokerage compensation. But there's another spot on here, and I always fill this part out too. It says, buyer shall pay the broker at closing an amount equal to X dollars. Buyer will receive a credit towards the payment of the broker's compensation if the listing broker or seller is offering that compensation. So I charge a certain amount of money for my services. I don't work for free.
You don't expect me to work for free, do you?
So I'm expecting a certain amount for what I do. If the seller is paying that compensation, fantastic. If the seller isn't, then that means you as the buyer using my services get to pay it. Now, there is also part of these new rules is that the seller is not required to offer buyer broker compensation. And so here's the deal. If a seller is not offering compensation or they're offering less than I charge, we have a form that we will submit with your offer that says,
"Dear seller, I want to buy your house, and as part of my offer, I am asking you to pay X amount of dollars in my realtor's compensation."
So if they say, "I'm not paying your realtor's costs," then we'll ask them formally in an offer. So there you have it. All of this goes into effect in August of 2024. And so as a recap, buyer brokerage agreements are required. They can be any duration that you want. You can either have your broker be paid through compensation from the seller, or you can pay it yourself, or a combination of both. And for compensation may or may not be offered from the seller as it has been in the past. It is completely negotiable. And if they're not offering compensation, there is a form that you would submit with your offer asking them for the compensation, or you can pay it yourself. And it's all negotiable, as it always has been. It's just now going to kind of look and sound a little different than it has in the past. So I hope that's sort of clear. The main thing you need to know, I would say, coming from this is hire an expert. Choose your realtor before you go to look at houses. Choose your realtor. Do the research on realtors up front and have conversations with us. Talk with us. If you are thinking about buying a home in the Oklahoma City market, don't just go look at houses. Give me a call. Let's get together. Let's talk. Let's have a few conversations. Let me share with you what my services are so you know what you're signing up for. Let's have that conversation over a smoothie or coffee or something. Okay? All right, come back next week. Unless I come up with something more fun to talk about, we're going to talk about how this affects home sellers. Lots of big changes. Real fun. See you later.